Hi everyone, welcome to today's Piece of Peace. I woke up this morning and another sunny day here. I have such gratitude when we can have a morning of sunshine. I do love that. I start my journaling off with just thanking God for some of our family gatherings last night. Got to see my son and his bride and their daughter, my granddaughter, and my other son and his girlfriend. Having dinner together as a family was really a gift and such a treat. And the laughter that we get to share and the commonalities of what we're kind of all going through being in ministry and moving a whole bunch of it online, sort of the online community. And my daughter-in-law is a teacher, so a lot of online teaching, a lot of online ministry, a lot of online everything today. And here we are again, Piece of Peace online. But having gratitude for that too. Just the strangeness of being able to share how that's changed our lives and how our learning curves are rather vertical in film and editing and external audio interfacing and all this kind of stuff. And I sat just having a gratitude of the things that God has allowed me to do and the peace of the peace that He brings in my focus on Him, and having a grateful heart for the things that I do have. I was grateful for our neighbors' humor. We have next door neighbors that make me laugh a lot, and how they brought joy to us yesterday, just across the yard, and they know. Having a gratitude for a drive-up church to be able to see faces, even though people are in their cars with their windows up, and just being able to worship in the open air. Huge gratitude. The one thing that was brought to my memory, or brought to my thoughts, was just I said, Lord, I feel like there's just this heaviness with my youngest. He graduates high school this year. And I feel like there's been so many losses for him. The loss of a senior prom, the loss of playing varsity tennis, the loss of not having a graduation commencement, or in the Midwest we have graduation parties, and there's a huge celebration when someone graduates from high school, and tons of people come and they eat food together, they play yard games, they bless the graduate with words of encouragement and gifts, and it's just something that his 3 brothers ahead of him got to have, but now he won't be able to experience. And my heart was hurting for that sort of void. And why these hardships? These kids that were born in, during at least in America, the 9/11 crisis, and they were kind of forgotten because of the trauma that was going on. And now graduating and being launched into their adult life and their leadership lives with a pandemic, and they're kind of getting lost in the trauma of that as well. So my heart was kind of heavy, like, God, what do you have there? Is that the end? Is it just because, this darkness has come, and is that all there is? They're just going to be kind of forgotten. And I just, give me creative ways that I could help celebrate him. He worked so hard to get where he is. So hard. And I kind of left it at that. He gave me some ideas on what to do for my son. And then I wrote that out and just started to open up my word, which is where we're going to go today. And a book that haven't spent a time, I've read through the whole book, but haven't camped there or been repetitively going there, is Amos, Amos. And we're going to start in chapter 8. And we're going to do chapter 8, verses 9 through 12, and then again go to 9, verses 11 and 12, because there's a completion at the end of that this particular writer of this devotion, Lisa Sommer, wanted us to at least be attentive to. And this is, again, Our Daily Bread, which you can download the app or Google and have them send the pamphlets to you. 8, starting in 9, sorry. In that day, declares the sovereign Lord, I will make the sun go down at noon and darken the earth in broad daylight. I will turn your religious feasts into mourning and all your singing into weeping. I will make all of you wear sackcloth, shave your heads, and will make that time like mourning for an only son, and the end of it like a bitter day. The days are coming, declares the sovereign Lord, when I will send a famine through the land, not a famine of food or of thirst for water, but a famine of hearing the words of the Lord. It says, men will stagger from sea to sea and wander from north to east, searching for the word of the Lord, but they will not find it. I don't know about you, but that brought a real heaviness to me. Not being able to hear his voice brought a heaviness to me. And I've talked to a handful of other people struggling, even in this season, to hear his voice. That brought a heaviness. I'm going to take us over to 9, 11, and 12, where God speaks again. In that day I will restore David's fallen tent. I will repair its broken places. I will restore its ruins and build it as it used to be, so that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the nations that bear my name, declares the Lord. Who will do these things? So that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the nations that bear my name, declares the Lord, who will do these things. I felt this heaviness and feeling like there is this famine of hearing his voice. But as the writer of this devotion brings us to where his intentions all along were to bring restoration, though the famine is here to bring restoration, though there's turmoil in our world right now, his intention is to bring restoration. I'm going to read you the devotion written by Lisa Samra. I was prepared with eye protection, an ideal viewing location, and homemade moon pie desserts. Along with millions of people in the U.S., my family watched the rare occurrence of a total solar eclipse, the moon covering the entire disk of the sun. The eclipse caused an unusual darkness to come over the typically bright summer afternoon. Although for us, this eclipse was a fun celebration and a reminder of God's incredible power over creation. Throughout history, darkness during the day has been seen as an abnormal foreboding, a sign that everything is not as it should be. This is what darkness signified for Amos, a prophet during the time of the divided monarch in ancient Israel. Amos warned the northern kingdom that destruction would come if they continued to turn away from God. As a sign, God would make the sun go down at noon and darken the earth in broad daylight. But God's ultimate desire and purpose and is to make all things right. Even when people are taken into exile, God promised to one day bring a remnant back to Jerusalem and repair its broken walls and restore its ruins. Could he be doing that with us right now? Repairing our broken walls and restoring our ruins? Even when life is at its darkest, like Israel, we can find comfort in knowing God is at work to bring light and hope back to all people. To bring light and hope back to all people. It made me start to think of the darkness I felt for this graduating class, be it from high school or from college. But my son, it's just like, what do you have for my child who is laying aside important things at that age? What do you have for us in this dark season of where we feel like we can't hear your voice? Like there's this famine of being able to hear your word to us. But your intentions, God's ultimate desire and purpose was and is to make all things right. How are you restoring our ancient ruins? How are you repairing? How are you repairing what is broken in each of us and in our communities and in our cultures? It's a big word today. So that takes me then to Jesus Calling. Sarah Young, download her app or buy her book. He says, meet me in morning stillness while the earth is fresh with the dew of my presence. Worship me in the beauty of holiness. Sing love songs to my holy name. As you give yourself to me, my spirit swells within you till you are flooded with divine presence. The world's way of pursuing riches is grasping and hoarding. Very resemblant of today. You attain my riches by letting go and giving. The more you give yourself to me and my ways, the more I fill you with inexpressible heavenly joy. You attain my riches by letting go and giving. The more you give yourself to me and my ways, the more I fill you with inexpressible heavenly joy. There's today's piece of peace. God bless you.